Hey everyone, so this is just a quick video on how I built this dashboard. This dashboard is on my Etsy, so if you guys do purchase it, and you have any questions, I am super responsive. There is a sample Excel file for the data as used here, and once you purchase this, and all you need to do is just change the data in there, and if there's any questions regarding the data or the Excel spreadsheet, just reach out to me and then I would love to help and assist. So yeah, let's get into it. So we'll open up a new Power BI. So blank report. Power BI is super powerful. I spend probably about 5 to 6 hours every day in here working on things, and maybe a lot. Maybe I spend a lot of time in the space of data science. I was an analyst transitioning to a engineering position, and also kind of transitioning to a business intelligence engineer position. So yeah, let's get into it. So I just got Power BI opened. Mine is a little slow. So there's a few things you'll need when you do purchase the dashboard. You would Power BI, of course, the desktop, Power BI desktop, and you will also need a Excel file, be able to open Excel and everything like that. So also, one of the cool things about the data is I use ChatGPT to create the sample data set. So yeah, if you guys haven't used ChatGPT, I highly suggest getting on that. That thing is like my personal assistant when it comes to working with data and just doing things. All right, so we'll go to get data up top. And you want to go into, so this one's a CSV file or an Excel file. So you click on that, or Excel workbook, whichever works, however you saved it. I believe I saved it in a CSV. Yeah, so it's in a CSV. So we'll go back. Oh, what am I doing? So I did save it as a CSV file. So you need to go text or CSV. And normally when you open a CSV file, you open an Excel file. So as you can see here, you're going to open an Excel. And so the one we have is sample digital product sales. I believe that's the latest one. It's all right there. So we'll double click on that and it should populate. So here's the sample data set. Normally you could just load it in, but I prefer transforming the data. So that way, before it gets into everything in there, you kind of look at it, see what kind of data type it is. So transform data. Okay, so now we got the data loaded, right? So we want to make sure everything's good. So that's date, order number. Okay, so that should be text, as you can see there. All right. Okay, so we got the data in now. We have date, order numbers. We want to keep this as text. The product, we want to keep it as text. Region, customer, segment, revenue. You can have it however you want that. You can have it as whole numbers, or you can have it as decimal numbers. I mean, like I said, it's under you. And fixed decimal numbers, this is usually dollar value. So, okay, we can see that. Replace current, so it's replacing that step, right? So now it's gonna be dollar value. So we can do all of these, make them dollar value too. So units sold is normally, whole numbers. So we'll keep that, but cost of goods sold, listing fee, shipping fee, and profit is usually dollar values. So you can control, so I do that again. So you click control, so CTRL, and then you click on this one, and this one, and you go up top, and fixed decimal numbers will turn these all into dollar values, as you can see there. All right, cool. So now we'll go to close and apply, and this should apply soon. Sometimes if it doesn't, just click on that and it'll go through it. All right, and you see right here, it should populate, and you can see all of that right there, which is great. Okay, so now let's do some of the designs. All right. Normally it depends too. It varies. Sometimes for my company, for work, I'll have filters on this side or filters up there. You could also utilize these filters, but for some reason, I don't know about how you guys are or any other analyst deals with it. Not a lot of people really use these filters here. After when everything's published. So normally we put them up here for easy access for the end users for it. So we'll insert a shape up here. So we'll get this rectangle, move it, and just right there. And there we go. So we'll put that there. We'll make this one whatever color you want. So we could change this color to, let's do shape and style, and the fill, we'll turn it, I like gray, you know, just kind of a neutral color. We'll go a little lighter. Actually, it's even go lighter. It's like this, something like that. All right, now we'll go a little lighter. Yeah, something like that, right? So you can clearly see the difference. And you see the border. So let's get rid of that border color. We don't need a border really when you think about it. So now, there you go. No border, nothing. It's just gray right there, right? And now we want a title. So let's title this the sales overview. And let's make it a little bit bigger. You have to highlight it. So let's make that 20. Let's do 24, right? And let's bold it a bit. And make it smaller and bring it up here. All right, so now we see there's a thing, right? So how we fix that? We'll go size and style, background. Let's turn the background off. Boom, there we go. And if you want, you can make it. Oh, okay. You can always move it down a bit too. Right there, something like that. So now it's more on the line and border. All right, cool. So now we also need filters on top, right? So let's add some slicers right here. All right. And we'll start with the date slicer. All right, perfect. I don't normally keep the bar, so you can get rid of that too. So you go slicer settings, between, and slicer header and the slider. So you get rid of the slider and bring it there, and you can bring this up here. All right, cool, perfect. So we'll put that there, and now we need a few more slicers for product, region, customer type, and customer name. So we'll add a couple more. And how I normally do this, to avoid having to continuously change how the visual is I'll pick one, and you go to vertical, you go to drop down. Oh, if you could already tell, this video is super informal. I'm going as quick as I can to just kind of show you. You can always pause it and kind of, check out the steps again. So we have that. There we go. And then we'll put up here. And we kind of want to, like, right there. There we go. And then normally I'll just Control C and Control V. So that way you copy and paste new ones. So this way too, the visuals all are really similar and you don't got to keep updating and changing all the time. Oops. There we go. We'll delete this one. We only need 4 extra ones. So here. And then now we don't want customer name. We want the product. And this one, oops. We want customer type. So we'll go over to this and we'll put customer type. And this one we'll do customer. Oh, I'm supposed to switch these. So this one we'll change the region. So it's gonna be region. All right. So now you can order this however you want it. So I'm just gonna change these to kind of match the original dashboard. So product. And I had region here, customer type, customer name, and we have customer name right over here. All right, perfect. So now it's like all white, right? So you can keep it whatever color you want. I like to kind of just make it blend with the background. So we'll click on that, and we'll go to size style, close out the background. So then with this, we'll get rid of the background. We'll get rid of this background. Oops. That background. And that background. All right, cool. So in the original one, these were all white right there, and this one too. So the little bars in there was all white. So how we change that is we go to values and background. So there's no thing, it's no colors. So we can just, oh, that's that color. So here's white. There we go. Same thing here. Background. We'll go white. Same thing here. Background. We'll go white. And background here. We'll go white. And this one too. We'll go white. So now you can kind of line them up however you want it. Kind of let them touch more. And there we go. We got our top slices all set and done. All right, cool. So now it's the visuals for the data, right? And we'll just double check this. So that's good. That's good. That's good. And this is good. And also too, I usually like to give the search option in all of these, just so like, if the user wants to, search for it, or instead of just scrolling through, because sometimes if you have a lot of data, it is a pain to scroll through everything. So they have the option to search for something is really critical. So like, for example, central, right there, see, or customer name. There's 15 different names sometimes. You don't want to keep searching for them, or scroll for them. So there we go. All right, cool. That's all set. Okay, so now, as I mentioned, it's time for the visual. So let's add the visuals. Okay, so these are the visuals that we want, right? We want some KPI cards, a line chart, a bar chart, a donut chart, and a table. The KPIs are total revenue, profit, sales growth, average order value. And the line chart is the monthly sales and profit trend. And the bar chart, top 5 best selling products. And the donut chart, sales distribution by category. And the table is the sales breakdown by region. All right, so let's put that here real quick. Cool. So we want a line chart first. Let's do the line chart first, just so that we can get the big things out in there first. So here's the line chart. There we go. So we want to see the monthly sales and profit trend, right? So there's a couple ways we can do this. Let's start by making some measures, and let's start by making a measure table. Okay, so to make a measure table, you want to go to home and create a new table by typing and passing in new content. So click on that. Here we go. And we want to call it measure. And table name, measure table. And click load. And it should populate over here. There we go. So if you open it, you have one measure, right? So, and that's kind of nothing. So you want to right click on it, new measure. And let's call this total profit. Equals sum of and profit right here. So this is a DAX measure, right? It's a DAX expression. This is what Power BI uses to do their functions, formulas, and such like that. It's pretty similar to VBAs and a lot of the coding languages, because if you know one, it's all pretty similar. So enter. Total profit. So now if you delete, so right here it looks like a table, right? So if you delete this, delete from model, now this will be a measure table. You'll right there, see it changes. Okay, cool. So we want the date on the x-axis, so on the bottom of the line chart, and then we want the total profit per month. So now that will do that. Okay, so for the monthly sales, we're not doing any type of calculation. We're counting how many of those sales that we got. So technically, how we want to get this is we want to count the order number, because each order number is considered a sale. So we'll do a count of the order number. So we'll go here, new measure. There we go. And we'll call this count of sale order. Well, we'll call it order count of order number, right? Equals count. If you use client sales, well, order number, sorry. Order number, click tab and close the parentheses. It'll give you the new measure. So now we got count of order, and now we want to add that here. So you can also put it here, but since the numbers are so far apart, right? You can see it right there. So it's showing 11,016. So you can't really see the visual. So how you would want to do this, you want to do another axis over here. So fortunately, with Power BI, you can do a secondary y-axis. So you just need to drag this down, put it right there, and now you have that. And all right, so now we're seeing 2024 to 2025. You don't want to see it. As we mentioned, we want to see the monthly sales order, right? So there's a couple ways to do this. Okay, cool. So as I mentioned, Power BI for a day column breaks down into hierarchies. So one of the cool things about the hierarchy is that when you click on this button right here, it'll break it down. So right here, now it's breaking down to quarters. So you can see here, quarter 1 for 2025, and then here is quarter 4. And if you keep pressing it, it'll break down to by month. And if you keep clicking on it, it'll break it down by day. So that's one of the cool features for Power BI. So let's go back to how we want it. We want to look at the monthly sales and profit trend. So we'll go back up. So right here we are. We have the monthly sales trend. And there we go. Okay, cool. So next visual, we need the top 5 best-selling products. And we're going to do a bar chart. So let's go up here. Let's get a bar chart. Get it clustered. We can do the 100% stacked. We're going to do the stacked bar chart. So we'll bring that there. And we want to get the top 5 best-selling products. Okay, so best 5 selling products we're going to look at. We're going to grab the product name, which is product. And so you can look at this by a few ways. We want to look at it by profit, by revenue, or whatever, how you want to look at it. We're looking at it by profit. So we'll go click on profit and it'll be right there. And here we go. So this is preference. So this is saying top 5 products, right? And this is showing all of it. So you can keep it the way it is and scroll around, or if you want to look at it by just the top 5 every time, so you don't got to keep scrolling or whatever like that to look at it, you can come up here to filter, click on filter, and then you can filter for the products, right? So product, and if you go to filter type and you go top N, so you can click top 5 and by what value. So the value that we're looking at, what is based on, what is considered a top product? It's the sales, right? The profit of it. So we want to drag the profit into here by value. Oh, where did, all right, there we go. So we want to apply filter. And when you apply the filter, it only shows you the top 5 now. So we'll keep it there for now. We could change it out later. All right, so that one's there. And then now we need a donut chart, right? So the donut chart is sales distribution by category. So this is pretty much saying, okay, I actually had it by region in the original one. So we'll do it by region. So we'll change that to region. So we need a donut chart. So here's the donut chart. So we got a donut chart here. And we want to look at the region. So we'll grab the region. Click on it, which is going to be the legend. And then after that, we want to know the profit of it, right? So you click on profit and it'll pop it. And one of the cool things about this too, it'll tell you the profit for it, and it'll also tell you the percentage of it from the whole. So here we go. All right, so we got that and we got this. Now we need our scorecards. So our scorecards are our total revenue, profit, sales growth, and average order value. Okay. So for this, let's do the total revenue first. So we'll click on the scorecard, which is right here. That, and we want the total revenue. So the total revenue. So we have 2 options. We can either click on just total revenue and give you that, or you can create a measure. Personally, creating measures are probably better because you could do other calculations later on for it. So let's create it. And it's a good habit to build measures in general. So we'll call this total revenue equals sum of revenue, close the parentheses, and we should be good. Cool. And then now we'll drag this into here. And here we go. We got a total revenue. And we need the profit. So we'll copy this and paste it again. And we'll just drag this out. And we already have the total profit measure. So we just got to put the total profit measure. And there we go. Okay, cool. So the next one, we want the sales growth. So sales growth, there's a little more calculation for the measure, but I'll just copy and paste what I have and I'll show you guys. Okay, so I copied the code that we need for this. So new measure. And honestly, for this code, I had to use ChatGPT for it and it came up great. So this is the code. Sales growth equal variance var current sales. So you got to create a couple measures for this and it does a calculation for you. If you put this in ChatGPT and ask it literally to explain to you what this function means, it'll break it down for you perfectly. And one of the cool tools I do with ChatGPT is that when I ask a question, I literally ask it, hey, break this down for me as if you were explaining to a 5-year-old. Because sometimes breaking it down and explaining it as a 5-year-old, you'll understand it. All right, click enter. And now we're going to have sales. So the sales growth, let's copy this again. And let's get rid of this and put the sales growth. And here we go. We're at 16%. So right there, you're seeing that's 0.6. So it's not percentage. That's a decimal, right? So you click on it, and then now you go up here. Now you get a measure tools, and then you click on the percentage. This will update to a percentage. There we go. And you can also adjust the decimal. So you can go 0, 1, 2, 5. It doesn't really matter. So you want to keep like this. It'll round up at 0 to 16. So, but normally, just so you get a better understanding of it all, you would kind of want it, at least 2 decimals away or 1 decimal away. Here we go. All right, so that's good. Okay, cool. So now we have all of our visuals. Now is kind of the fun part. You design everything. We can also do the average order value. Okay, so I'm not gonna put the average order value in here. Actually, I am. I'm probably gonna take the revenue out and just put the sales growth. So for the average order value, we're gonna need to create another measure. So for this, the average order value. So let's think about calculating that. All right. So the average order value, how you would do that is you would sum up all the sales and divide it by the total revenue or total profit. We're focusing more on profit. So let's look at the total average. So let's look at the average order value per profit by profit, right? So the measure for this, we need to create an additional, we would need to create 2 different measures. So one measure is to sum up all the sales unit. Well, okay. We don't need to do. Okay, so for the average order value, we want to know on average how much is each order bringing in, and we can either look at the revenue or we can look at the profit perspective. We're more focused on profit, so we're going to look at the profit perspective. So how we would do this is literally profit divided by the numbers of order. So we already have our profit measure, and we also already have a count of order. So for the measure, this measure, we would just need to let's see, new measure. Average value per order equals the total profit divide by count of order number. And here we go. And as I mentioned, we're not going to focus too much on this one. We're going to focus more on the profit. So we can take this out and put average value per order. So the average order that we're getting is about $600. Of course, you know, an average was an average. Okay, great. So we have this now. And as I mentioned, we can also adjust this. So you go here in auto, let's put it at 0. And since, you know, since we're at dollar value, it's just two decimal places. There we go. Okay, so now it's kind of the fun part. It's the designing part. I'm not saying none of this is fun. Oh wait, sorry. We still need a table, so we need a table real quick, and I'll get rid of this, remove that, and let's build the table. So the table, we want it. How do we want the table? What information do we want the table? All right. Okay, so table, we need sales breakdown by region. So we'll come here, we'll grab the table, break that up. So by region, so we want the region, we want to know what products is being sold for that region, and we want to know what segments and customer type are they, and now we want to know how much are they bringing in. So let's look at the revenue, and let's look at the units sold, and let's also look at the profit. And here we go. You could also just move these around this way. I like to kind of just, here we go. So one of this, just like that, okay. And here we go. All right, so we have that table, and you can whatever information you wanted, you can always add onto here too. And the cool thing about PowerBI, you have a slider where you can look at it. And you can also adjust the width of these too, so you can see what I mean here. You know, like that. You know, if you want everything to fit under, you know, one thing. Okay, nice. All right, so now let's move everything around, make them fit nicely. So we don't need this anymore, so we can remove that. All right, and how I have it in this one. So let's keep that up there, the trend, and let's move this over here. All right, and now I'm just gonna adjust things. So I mean, however you want to design it, you can design it the way you want. Okay, great. So that one's good, and then this one, same thing. Now we're just updating and, you know, making the visuals a little more appealing and make it pop out a little more, right? So this one, let's update the title, make it a visual border. Let's put that at 3. Let's change the color to gray. That one's good, and it's cool. You can also add a shadow to it. You see the shadow pop up back and forth. That's, you know, the designing is all on the creator's discretion. And here we go. We'll do the same thing here. So that's done. Same thing here. Oh. Good. Same thing here. Visual border. Borders are gray. There's 3 on that. Perfect. Okay, and then now let's update you can also update like the visual in here too. So how I kind of want to do that normally is you go to column headers and you can adjust the text color and the background color. So we'll give that a nice gray. We'll bold the name and such like that. What happens if I put this? Nah. Okay, cool. So there we go on that. And you could also change the titles or the column header name by, it's a couple ways. You could do like this. You could just double click in here like that. That's if, you know, you want to delete certain things. And this way too, it kind of gives you more room to add more visuals without having to need to continuously scroll. I know a lot of people don't like to scroll in too much, but you know, this is what I mean by it. Oh, this is a lot more. Visual border, not 13, it should be 3. There we go, much better. And here we go, we're all set with that. So visually is all set. Oh, another thing too. So one of the cool features of Power BI is when you click on some of these visuals, it becomes really interactive. So let's say, for example, click on this one, right? So everything here will filter, well, not filter, it'll kind of like show you, you know, what percentage or what part are they in there, right? I personally don't really like that too much because it shows a lot of the other stuff. I mean, granted, it gets highlighted, but I rather have it be filtered. So how we do that, we click on this, click on any visual, you go to format, and then on the top left, edit interaction, click on that. So now you see how everything just popped up. So right here, so this is kind of like highlighting it, right? But if you click on this one, you filter it. So if you click on this one and you filter that and filter that, so these are already filtered, right? So now watch, if you click on this filters for it. Same thing here, this filters for it, this filters for it too. Unfortunately, you need to do that for every other visual also. So let's say, for example, this one, if we were to click this, it would just highlight, right? But if you click on the filter, now it'll just filter for all of that for it there. Same thing here, red, you know, and everything else moves along with it too. So there you have it. You have the first overview page completed. Okay, great. So we'll name this sales overview. Oops. And now all the other pages are pretty much super similar. Pretty much give it a try for yourself to kind of like copy these. Same type thing, is just utilizing all these different columns and such like that, and coming up with something similar like this, or sales trend and forecast and such. It's just the cool thing about Power BI, a lot of it is plug and play. You know, once you have the columns and measures and everything like that, you just plug in and such like that and create the visuals. Yeah, so give yourself a try. Give yourself a try and see if you're able to create the other visuals, the other pages. They're pretty much similar. You're just putting in different columns and numbers and such like that in there. And yeah, give it a try. Thanks for watching.